to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to end, turn it up. And if you've got Real FM, ride the.
Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you have an opportunity to join and make contribution. We are on Real FM 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York. That is We Noise FM. Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. We always encourage you to share our program and to subscribe to Real FM. Like the program. As soon as you enter, like, share, and subscribe. We strongly believe that we could do better in Grenada. Over 5-10 years, sometimes changes take long, but you have to start. And some of the challenges we see in Grenada ought not to be. It means we are not doing anymore. We are jolted by the memorial of Saint Mary of Magdala. That is one of the first women that God on resurrection time, Jesus Christ, she encountered him. And immediately she went and tell others. And when the women were mourning and wailing in Jerusalem, Christ called on them. He said, don't mourn for me. Mourn for your children. You and your children. And if you remember the woman by the well, what Christ had told her would have shamed most women here. You have about 7 men, and the one you have now is not yours. But that drive her to send a message to others that she have seen the Messiah. And remember at the foot of the cross, Christ said, woman, behold your son. Son, behold thy mother. So there's always intervention in the worst of time, in the lowest of time. It seems that even Christ turned to the women to spread the news. I was in an encounter with a woman, and she told me she have 5 children. 2 of them was with her. She know I like to encourage women within childbearing age, don't waste time, make children. She said to me she have 5 children, but her son was checking and he said, Mommy, you have 4 children. And the woman said, I'm not speaking to you. But he kept counting on his hand. Christine, Jane, Mary, and me. He said, Mommy, you have 4 children. The mother said, behave yourself, I'm not talking to you. But I'm paying attention to him. A minute or 2 after he come back to tell the mother, Mommy, you have 4 children. The little sister say, and what's about daddy? The boy never checked the father, you know. Yes, sometimes the man is like a child. Sometimes he wants breast more than the children. And some women say, all the man they play in there, when they're sick, they're like a baby. Women have a special role in our country. And when there seems to be trouble, Perhaps we need to pay special attention to our women and remind them of their soothing role in society. We seem to be too harsh. We believe in too much retributive justice. We seem to be lacking our ability to forgive. We're too quick to rejoice at other people's misfortune. As soon as we hear something bad about people, we're laughing, we're glad. Grenada have the most home for the aged in the Caribbean. Why? That ought not to be. Because Grenada have the most landowners in the region. So it means we may have more discretionary income. We have property. We have a home. But we seem not to want to take care of our elderly. 14 people died. Let me say about 14. It could be 13 and a half. 14 people died right here in St. Patrick's in the home during COVID-19. That is when people refuse to heed the call of not to crowd. One man's over 70 odd years left the home. A few women go and look for him. The police didn't even bother. Up to now, they don't get him. And that seems nothing to us. An elderly man left a home and go, and we don't bother. We are too harsh. We're too easy to get angry. If you bounce a young man today, he said, don't diss me. And you better be careful with your answer. If you old and feeble, perhaps you start to beg him. Otherwise, they would trample you on the ground. And others would have their camera, their phone, taking picture to post on Facebook. What's wrong with us? We have too much of conflicts in our society. Our song seems to tear one another asunder. And no pity on women. Well, in fact, the women obeying instructions from the song. We deprecating their morality. Maybe we have to check ourselves. We are Christian people. And we need to be softer. We need to be more forgiving. We need to be more respectful. Perhaps our pastors and our priests and our preachers have to spend more time appealing to our people to forgive one another, to love one another, to respect one another more. Most of us who are elderly, have had serious influence by the church and by Christian principles. But today our children don't go to church. So the effect of Christianity on us would not be the same with our children. So our children would be harder and colder. It will be about them. Come on. The cow don't take care of its parents. The dog or the cat or the pig don't take care of the elder ones. They take care of the younger ones, but not the elder ones. I think it's only the wolf that take care of the elder ones. They leave them in the den and they bring food for them to eat when the elder ones cannot hunt no more. What is happening to us as a people? Maybe we need to sit and check back. And now, more than ever, it is opportune time for us to look back. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you? How are you? How are you doing, Mr. Pierre?
Yes, scholar, go right
Hello?
ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, this month, we'll make it 3 years and a month. NDC took the reign of power in our country. And Mr. Pierre, I'm searching to see within the 3 years and a month what positive development NDC brings to the people of the country, Martin. Where Greener could stand and proud and said, they life better. They feel much happier for the last 3 years and a month.
Perhaps we
And to
should,
pay
perhaps,
all of a sort, I can't find anything.
well, you
I
may
don't
not,
find anything.
you may not find
Hello?
because you may not find anything because you're not a member of the NDC. So perhaps we should ask members of the NDC to call and tell us what positive they have brought to Grenada in the last 3 years. You have some noise going on
But
in
just
your
say,
area.
yeah, 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 what I'm saying, I'm living in Grenada here. Right? And we can see, we know what is good and what is not, what is bad. And if NDC, if I see NDC did anything good to help develop the poor people life and make Big Grenada be proud, I will give them I will give them praise for it. I give them praise for it. I always say for man if you might not like what a man doing. But then if you make it like a someone, but if the person doing good, you talk about it you say they do something good. And if I cannot see anything. What I'm seeing from time this government come, even before they take the reign, what they are doing is continue to lie to the people going to compete in Martinique. Lie and to deceive the people. They lie to deceive them to vote for them. I'm saying after winning the election, the lie did not stop. The lie become greater and greater and greater. Corruption become like something that is good to do, and the right thing become and to stop and speak about the right, it become like a sin. And what we are seeing is a sort of corruption, which is the head of the government of the country. He gives the blessing to it. He doesn't say anything wrong with that. And he said, morality is private, and immorality is is public. He said, but when you have a prime minister making a statement, and calling upon and going on a national stage in a rally, and said that the only reason why Green getting because the real NDC don't know who the NMP. That prime minister and that leader, he need to go back to school because I see a leader, and to be a successful leader is you have to try to bring people together and not to divide people. I'm saying since before the last election, this and NDC, the status shows the disrespect for the seniors. Well, I remember in COVID time, while the government was encouraging people to distance themselves, don't go out and socialize, they was encouraging them to go out and socialize, to disrespect the seniors. Well, when the government know, when you encourage young people to disrespect the seniors, what going to happen? The same young people go turn around now and disrespect the same young people. And I want to encourage young people. Just how we see someone as you love yourself, you should have that love for people. And if you love yourself and you love others as you love yourself, many of the times you will not try to do damage to them and cause it upon them.
Yeah.
So Mr. Pay have a blessing.
Yes, caller. Caller, in all fairness to the question you ask, people would say because you sung like a NNP, you can see what NDC doing. So it's a good thing to invite the NDC, Culture Man and others. Call me and tell me two or three positive things that NDC brought to Grenada over the last 3 years. That they brought, new initiative, new ideas that they brought to Grenada over the last. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Well, the gentleman put me in a tight spot there because it is not true to say you can see anything that the government have done. The government have done things. I am not satisfied with the government and with a lot of things that they're doing. I'm not satisfied with it. I am not satisfied with how they govern in the country, but they have done. Teachers get money, nurses get money, policemen get money that they was waiting for a long time. And there are a lot of things that was done. So if we have to go into that, it will take some time. There are a lot of things that was done. So we have to agree. I heard Dr. Mitchell I saw him on the GBN this morning, and I can tell you, he have given a good, a good, a good account of himself.
As usual.
Yes, questions have been thrown to him, and he was able to clear all of them. He didn't mumble, and he didn't pretend to do anything. He came out and he was able to construct all the questions that were doing. Even Mr. The blind man did satisfy with him. I forget Mr. Rulo did satisfy with him. Mr. Pierre, I understand that the government will be taking a bill to Parliament. I'm a little bit not clear on that bill. A bill that will give young girls, I don't know if I should say women, but young girls, the option that they can marry at the age of 17 and 16. And if we're talking about bringing our school,
Sure. I think the bill is giving them more power in the sexual decision at 16, but they have to marry at 18. Is not something like that?
Well, if it's so, you have me a little bit twist. But I thought that at 16 they can be married. They can marry.
Right. So I think, and this is what is sad about the government.
Yeah, I think
because that is something that should be discussed before.
Yes.
The government is sneaking in Parliament with bills that have fundamental impact for the country. What the government trying to do, we have to understand here, there is a movement in Grenada to mash up the family.
Yeah,
the communists and the atheists, they want to mash up the family.
I am with you there. Because you tell me as a young girl could give consent to have sex at 16. And you want to give her the privilege to marry.
Well, he's not married alone. It's a question of...
I accept, but if you give her more monopoly...
You see,
yeah?
Chief, you're a strong contributor. So maybe we have to get some more information on the bill because I would love you to understand that.
Yeah,
so one of the opposition members, you are behaving badly to. Make those things accessible to us, even if the government not giving it. And you, Mr. Bridgman, have called on them since eternity.
Well,
send the bills to us. You could send it to you through your we're not very knowledgeable about you on the internet. So if you send us information with us, highlighting some of the points where you're concerned, we better prepare to inform people.
That is one of the weak points of the NMP.
And you have been complaining about it for eons.
Yes, I have been, and I will still.
And some people vex when you're talking.
I know that, but I was glad that Dr. Mitchell was able to clear all the questions. All what they tried to throw at him, he was able to hit it for 6.
Because the government sneaking this bill is a few days I heard about it.
Yeah.
And I don't even have time to go and get it because I'm not very smart on the internet.
I with you there. I definitely with you there.
And the opposition members, some of you, the public relation arm of the NNP, make those things available to us.
They don't drive in like they have license, Mr. Pierre.
Okay.
They're driving us people that do have license.
They're driving like they're learning to drive.
Yeah. I'm sad to know that, but
some of the pointers that you're concerned about, point it out to us. Exactly. Because I know one of the biggest movement in this is not now, they want to mash up the family. Any country that have strong families, communism, Marxist Leninism, and atheism cannot survive.
Yeah, because look at the Prime Minister say he have not seen any major corruption. But while he's saying that, his finance minister is saying that be careful when we do our we check some heads may roll.
The finance minister say he don't want to talk about it. The minister of
You
social
understand?
affairs say it's a disaster.
So we don't know who playing on the ball,
The
who
prime
playing
minister,
outside right, who playing outside left. Somebody playing, some people, some of them definitely playing outside.
the prime minister is the architect. He's the corrupter in chief. He that caused all poor running them to be in this trouble.
Yes, the prime minister
The
say that.
prime
So,
minister.
the prime minister say that crime, what do you call it, is a crime. It's a crime, but you hearing so much of it, and you're not you don't setting up
You remember over the last 2 years we heard that the prime minister accept a gift in excess of 30,000 US. This is immediately the prime minister should come and deny, explain, or say yes, I've retired to the integrity commission.
The prime minister fire Jonathan, and when Jonathan going outside, he asked him how he face vex.
A toucher, how he face vex, and then that time the prime minister, the police, the prime minister had the police outside like a common thief. The prime minister is a bandit.
That's pure hypocrite.
When I tell you he's a political bandit.
Right, Mr. Pierre.
You see, the prime minister of Grenada, you always have weak individuals. And if you find individuals with strong people where morality is concerned, these guys will walk the street and now. But if they're there with gangsters, they turn real zombie. And that is what happened to people like Tevin Andrew and Ron and Andy. If they were with strong individuals where morality is concerned, those guys that walk the street and now. Yolan Bain will tell Andy, behave yourself, come on, obey. Ron, they'll tell Ron, no, you can't do that. And these boys will be very good, strong individuals. I remember interviewing Ron many years ago. And I say, you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of energy. Your party must use you all more. But if you end up with a corrupter in chief that accepting gifts and not retiring it, he gonna believe he could do the same thing. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Yes. One of the things I notice is that there is an attempt, a deliberate attempt in this country to destroy the family, destroy Christianity, and to push Grenada along the Islamic and Marxist line. There is a propaganda chief for Hamas. Every single day, that man is calling radio stations and pushing hatred against Israel. This morning, I heard him calling on Christians and saying to Christians that all of us, God is all of us Father. But if he studied the scripture, what he would see is that Almighty God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, create all of us. But he is not all of us Father. For example, a man like him, based on what he is preaching, he's a son of the devil, because that is what the scripture clearly tells us. Because every one of us that born into this world, we have an earthly mother and father. But we make our choice as to who we want for our spiritual father. And one cannot hate the Jewish people and to love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So what he's clearly telling us is that he hates Almighty God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name is Jehovah, right? His love is for the God of Islam, Allah. And what he's trying to do is to trick Christians. And Christians need to wake up from their slumber. There is a spiritual battle going on in this country, and that trickster, that wolf, think he is smart. But Mr. Pierre, I want to have a face-to-face debate with him any day. Because that land, Israel, belongs to the Jewish people. And regardless of what propaganda he spreads, he wouldn't get through. You need to study the history. The Bible is the best history book, the most accurate history book. Study the history of the Jewish people from in Egypt with Pharaoh, come right back today, and you will see that they cannot win. But the Christians need to wake up because they need to remember if they let him sway their minds, what he will be doing is sending them in the pit of hell. Because in the first place, Muslims don't like Christians. They hate both Christians and Jews. Right? And in every country where you have Christians among Islam, once the Christians are in the minority, they are being persecuted. Right? So Christians need to wake up and see that fox. He's trying to trick them. People need to read the Bible, pray, seek wisdom from Almighty God, and take warning. Have a good day, sir.
Yes, and they consider Christians and Jews as infidels. And Muhammad say agreement, relationship between the infidels is disallowed. And that is why Iran say the only place for Israel is in the bottom of the sea. And while Israel is still fighting for the hostages that Hamas took for them, Israel themselves are committing too much excesses. And the world have to prepare. Yes, caller, welcome.
Sir Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sir Pierre, in this world, there's only one God. Yeah, no, God is one God. The same God as the Muslim God, the same God as the Christian God, the same God as the Muslim God. So I don't know where your zone from, where you coming from. Tell him that there is only one God and one God alone. So he could worship all the 10 gods. Mr. Pierre, I listened to Dr. Mitchell today, and I was surprised to hear the answer about the shrimp farm. Mr. Mitchell said that some man come and think. Mr. Mitchell said that a man come out and take interview and all kinds. The government of Grenada, they had an inquiry into that, and they stifled it. Up to now, we can get inquiries. Keep Mitchell and the NNP, they corrupt the shrimp farm that everybody in the party gets share in that money.
But that's a strong statement you're making. Eh?
Yes.
You know, hold on a while. I don't want to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we always try to be tolerant and stick with the truth. But if you say everybody in the party get that money, that's a strong statement. And you come on, you don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. Okay, let me challenge you now. Now, if they have the investigation and you say they didn't release the result, well, the NDC in power now. The NDC could release the result of the investigation. Because if the government have the investigation, the result is there.
The result is there.
So the NDC could release the result now.
They killed the investigation.
Well, you say they had the investigation and they didn't release the result. The NDC now could release the result.
But if NNP kill it,
well, let NDC have an investigation on it now. You don't find so?
Well, with the investigation coming.
Well, right.
And they got deal with you.
You remember you remember, caller, you remember between 2008 and 2013, the NDC set up a committee to investigate corruption, and they brought down a forensic expert, a financial forensic expert, and they found no credible evidence of corruption.
Well, you know, and they got to deal with all you. You and all you, the man make it clear to all you that what the woman said is not true.
Who is that?
Jenny Simon.
No, I'm just asking you about the 2008, 2013 investigation. The NDC brought down a forensic. Well, I'm telling you.
You tell me where you feel, but I don't know.
All right, so let's go to Jenny Simon now.
Jenny Simon, the man tell Jenny Simon plain and clear. Why you saying it's not true? Are you still continuing all about?
Well, you see, when you must take
peddling false information. That's what you're about. Peddling false information. So you're stealing all about peddling false information.
Okay, partner.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You see, the NDC hiding information. And if you once you hiding information in this period, you're going to constantly have to play catch-up games because rumors and speculation go to run wild. Yes, caller, welcome. Yeah. And that's what is sad. And it shows the juvenile nature of the NDC. You have to provide information for our people. And if you don't provide information, some information they'll go and get for themselves. You see, what you make them do, poor run. Go in the university and getting the paper and throwing it out. The university and almost a shock. Yes, people just buy certificate in university. But the university reputation could be seriously challenged. The St. George's University is the biggest suppliers of medical doctor to the United States of America. And they pride themselves on having excellent academic acumen. So if it is proven that you could buy a certificate in the university, you're challenging the very reputation of the university. And that's why I say the Prime Minister of Grenada is the corrupter in chief. No other leader ever reached so far. This man seems to corrupt everything in touch. I've been calling for the past 3 years, almost 3 years, for the directors of the Grenada Development Bank. Go. You have been corrupted. The Prime Minister of Grenada fired the whistleblower. The whistleblower came from the government. The man said when he see corruption, so he's shocked. He go and tell the Prime Minister fired. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, yeah, same one story the thing is. The man failed twice. And then after all of a sudden they say an error make. So what about all them other students that passed through and maybe didn't get you? That means the errors and them too and they must investigate the errors and they own too. I find this thing sound too fishy. And I understand the people who grading is advisors to the state.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that kind of this thing sound too fishy.
The Prime Minister.
The next portion, the guy will talk about Israel and this and that, and like God. If he born in Israel, born in Pakistan, he will be putting bomb money back and blow. This is how he will learn how to Christianity. He will be putting bomb money back to blow up Christian. If he born in India, he will be a Hindu. If he born in anywhere within Japan, he will be a Buddhist. See, based on the culture he come from, he will defend that, and all of them saying they want to the right one. There is no evidence to prove that God give Israel. Nobody, who see God when God give him that? Who tell him God give him that? This land don't belong to these people. People just say that I want evidence to prove that they see God. God talk to them. The person write it down and they say, look, God put on that day. And God didn't give nobody. They meant take the land.
You know Jacob that wrestled with God. God said, let me go. He said, I don't let you go and bless you.
Even the same Bible says Jacob beat an angel. They say Jacob fight an angel.
But I tell you, the angel said, let me go. Jacob don't let go.
Flying the wings in his sky. It shocked me to be intelligent people in Grenada believing this thing. But I believe. There is no evidence. There are no evidence for the belief. They just believe. And to believe is the absence of knowledge, the absence of fact. Everybody just believe, and everybody feel the belief is the right belief. That you hold on to the right belief. So take himself there, have a good day.
Yes, and while we're saying that 23 Christians was murdered in Nigeria, and in a lot of these Muslim countries, Christian in real trouble. They're killing them. You can't even have a Bible in Saudi Arabia and some other countries. So yes, the Quran say infidels, and they say kill them. And the Quran disallow agreements between. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon again.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, my question to the last gentleman that called. I wonder if he ever see the wind You know, I wonder if you ever see the wind,
That's
but you
come now between knowledge and belief.
or if you ever see thunder, but he can feel the power of thunder. He can hear thunder. He can feel the power of the wind, and the evidence is there that Almighty God gave that land to the Jewish people. Look at the amount. Look at the population of Israel today. Look at the size of the state of Israel. And look at the enemies. Look at the size of the enemies. Look the war they keep on going through. The question is, why they can't get rid of them? See the power of the Almighty. Just like how the wind, you cannot see it. But if once you're alive, you should feel the power. Mr. Pierre, have a good day, sir.
Yes, and Grenadians must know that Israel is about 2% of the American population and about 0.2% of the world population. And I think where millionaires are concerned, they're about 19%. I don't think it's millionaires. Very wealthy people, they're about 90%, 19% of the American population. And out of the Nobel Prize for Literature, the Israelis reading it about 50% of the time. One of the most persecuted people in the world. During World War II, the Caribbean countries refused to accept Jews. Jews was going on boat like Haitian, racing for other countries to rescue them because Europe was slaughtering Jews. Hitler killed about 6 million of them. Hitler was sending them in the gas chamber. And the Germans was very good of keeping record. So they used to record it. They keep their shoes, their hat, their teeth in their mouth, the gold, etc. And the Jews was running. Some of the Jews that came to the Caribbean islands refused to accept them. Venezuela accepted them. So yes, the Jews have been seriously persecuted, and the Jews have been supported a lot by England, first England and America. Iran used to support the Jews at one time. But now, most of the hardline Muslim countries in the world, they want to see the Jews dead. But the Jews themselves have been carrying out excesses in Gaza. The world has been, number of countries in the world has been complaining. The reason the Jews say Hamas is hiding behind civilians. So when they go in an area, if gunfire, they're killing them. And they've been searching for the people who were kidnapped by Hamas. Hamas still have the people that were kidnapped. I think it's down to about 50 now. And Israel is searching for them. And perhaps those younger ones who don't know about Israel, they must go to the internet and look for 90 minutes at Entebbe. 90 minutes at Entebbe. Very interesting reading. But I believe that the Caribbean and Africa should be lobbying for peace in the world. There should be a strong body demanding peace. Let us have a ceasefire. Let us go around the table. Let us look for a two-party state. Let us negotiate peace. And they must also put demand on Iran to accept the Jews' right to exist. Because Iran does not accept the right of the Jews to exist. They say if they shouldn't live, they must die. But a lot of Grenadians too don't want to see the Jews. They want them dead. I've spoken to a lot of them who, in one-to-one conversation, they're a little bit more honest. The communists don't like the Jews. The Marxists, Leninists, the atheists, they don't like the Jews at all. So in Grenada now, we have to be careful because we see an upsurge in the activity of the Marxists, Leninists, the communists, the progressives. We see an upsurge of them in Grenada. And they seems vying again to get into power. Yes, they're going to use the ballot, but once they get in power, one of the first things that will be affected is freedom of expression. Marxist-Leninists cannot be sold. They always have to ride on a cars. After over 60 years of the socialist experience in Cuba, Cuba is still jailing people. And you ever hear Grenadians leaders call for the people in Cuba to be free? You don't hear that over the Caribbean. Calling to free the prisoners in Cuba. Give them a fair trial. Have freedom of the press. Free the trade union leaders. Not even the trade union in Grenada calling for freedom of the trade union in Cuba. We have to be very careful in Grenada. And the communists and the Marxists, Leninists and the atheists and the progressives, they don't like strong families. They don't mind tearing your family asunder, so they have more control over you. And some of these laws that are initiated in Parliament is to help to break up the family. So a child, whether boy or girl, could make more decision about the sexes, the sexual progress, sexual decisions when they're 16. But they have to marry when they're 18. And that is perhaps to help them to sow the royal oats enough. So by the time they sort of water down marriage, the question of marriage is grossly watered down. The question of morality, the communists don't care about that. It's religion that talk about honor thy father and thy mother that thy days may be long. It's religion that tell you to forgive, particularly Christian religion. Forgive one another. They say Jesus Christ could hit harder, so don't hit. It's them that tell you no, justice with compassion. And we in Grenada are getting cold and hard and insensitive. We don't care about the elderly no more. We take very high-handed action where the weak and the elderly is concerned. That's why as soon as Deacon come in power, although he promised $650 for the elderly on seed program, immediately he withdrew $150 from them. And then they put it back, but they left out a number of people out of it. I told you before, there was a woman 102 years now. She's 102 years. She's from Paraclete. The NDC remover from the program, she's still not in it. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Pierre, that talk we hearing in our break and GBN with this age from married and all kind of thing. There is some more agreement, You must remember that.
He's a Marxist, Leninist. You see how they're sneaking in things?
Yeah.
You see, that's why I tell you, Deacon is a fake.
Yep.
He's not genuine. Deacon is not genuine. He stays quiet and he's sneaking that in Parliament. And he has the numbers, so he's going to pass. Yeah. And then we saltless Christians does not understand. He give them...
Same man say he didn't read the document,
He said he didn't read it. A big corporate liar. You lie.
Yeah,
damn lie. You lie.
Yeah. And look, they coming with it piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Deacon is a sad... When you deal with Deacon, it saddens your heart, But a lot of people believe because a man bright, he have good morals. Now, Albert Einstein, the great Albert Einstein wrote about it. He said, don't trust morality among the highly intellect. Some of the most immoral people you have is highly certificated. Some of the most corrupt people you see is highly intelligent people. Some of the people that are taking the most drugs in the world are highly intelligent people. It's going to be difficult for you to see it because they have money and they could pay for the habit. Why do you think the drug trade is so powerful? You think it's only people in the ghetto that taking drugs? The people in the ghetto don't have much money, so they're thieving. So when you hear these same lawyers and them talking about expanding the jail, they are the ones that dealing with the most drugs. But Laba and the others on the street is those you've seen. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, okay, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
But if they already want to give consent at 16 and children going to school up to 18.
Well, the consent age is...
You are going to school up to 18.
Well, consent age, well, when you're in school, you could be screwing and you're having your child and you have your husband and you're in prostitution or illegal. And when they want to recruit you, the best time is at that age. Your young hormones jumping up in your body, you want the bow. And they give you right and they practically tie your parents' hand. So...
Yes, if them parents want to stay there and watching and turn a blind eye, good for all of them.
Well, it's a culture. Over a period of time, the parents accept that. Remember, Muhammad married Aisha at the age of 6, when she was 6 years. But Muhammad consummated the wedding at 9. He started to screw at 9. That time he lived her for about 3 years playing with doll. But Muhammad had 10 wives, so he could have Aisha in a Canada waiting for she to get a little bigger, to put a little bone on, to put a little flesh on the bone.
Yeah.
You see, we must know that. We must face the reality.
Yes.
And Muhammad said you could have 5 wives and you could beat them.
Yeah.
So it's different culture. Now the atheists don't know morality. It's like the laws of the jungle. The communists don't talk about God. They don't talk about helping the weak and the poor.
So what about them prayer warriors? Where are they now?
Well, some of the people that was say there was prayer warriors was wolf in sheep clothing. Remember, Grenada experimented with Marxist-Leninism. And if you go back and watch a lot of them, even in the church, they're not very deep in the church.
No,
they
man.
come to church principally because they know here is a marketplace for them to propagate their ideas.
To come and display vehicle and clothes.
Yes, so some of them prayer warriors, pastors, are also sleeping agents, sleeper cells for the Marxists, Leninists, and the communists. But now we see a rise in them. They smell blood once more. Yes, Carlo.
All right.
Yeah. So Moses Machel, when he come in Grenada, he say, your enemies is within your footstool. He said the revolution is like a serpent, it eats its children. Maurice Bishop never played it on the radio again, but it was true. So that's the reality. So sometimes I think Christians are too timid. And you must understand that what is going on is not in your interest. So you must grow your children to pray. Prayer is good. Because this war is not about guns and bombs. You're fighting an idea. You're fighting momentum. You're fighting the principalities. And the principalities will infiltrate you. So you must teach your children to pray. When your children leave home, bless them. Make the sign of the cross if you are of that inking. If not, pray with your children. Bless them when they're walking out of your house. Pray for them. Woman, pray for your man too. Remember what Jesus told the women. Women of Jerusalem, they're mourning for God. He said, mourn for yourself and your children. So women in Grenada, you have to take back your children. If you leave your children to go with the momentum, with the Marxists, Leninists, the communists, the dividers of the family. And don't believe these people not smart. They are intellectuals, they're wise. They plant doubt in your mind. So if you're not deeply enveloped in the Word of God and the Spirit, it's not easy to fight them. Tough. Particularly around this carnival time. Jabdoke. It's entertaining, you know. It's momentum. And your children are left bare. I see some young children, and nothing is wrong with them having a good time. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
when we look at the history of Grenada, what we will see is that the moral decay started in Grenada during the revolution. Because when the revolution took place, parents lost control over their children. When a child decides to go and join militia, the parent can't say nothing because the child will go and report and the parent going to be in trouble. Man have his wife or his woman, they decide they're going and join militia. The man in the house, he can't open him out and say nothing. And when the woman go and join militia, then they put her to go and keep duty in the night. They pair them up, right? And next,
What was the term they used to use again? You have a term they used to use?
yeah,
Pierre or something.
so since after that, Grenada just going downhill, right? Look at what's going on in the churches. Women going to church naked. And then pastors, so-called pastors, they ain't saying nothing because they like what they see in the feasting on flesh, right? Then you have this prime minister, look what he did with condom.
He dropped the price of condom and panty liner.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I tell a woman, ask a woman, what is panty liner? She said, you don't know. I said, well, Mr. Old Man, I know about modest, I didn't know about panty liner.
Grenada finish. God help us.
No, we don't finish. There is a lot of hope. There is a lot of hope. There is a lot of work to be done. And that's why I always say, women of Grenada, saying the same thing Jesus Christ tell the women of Jerusalem. He say, mourn for yourself and your children. So I'm saying, mourn for your children, particularly your boys. If you have time, mourn for your man too. And reach out to them. You have to grow your children in the ways of the Lord. So when they are old, they shall not depart. And you have to encourage your children to pray. They're fighting a power that is greater than them alone. They say the flesh is willing, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I mean, you could help me. I don't know the quote on them. You give me a call. You see, so you have to grow your children in the ways of the Lord. Let your children pray. Encourage your children to do well in school. Get your children to be active. Nothing remain an empty bag can stand. So if your children don't have nothing to do, they will find things to do. I think there is a saying, an idle hand is the devil's workshop. Encourage your children to play music. Encourage your children to be in groups. Encourage your children to join groups in the church. Encourage your children to join groups in the school. During the August holiday, take your children on a hike. Take them on a walk. Sing with them. Because if you not doing anything and you hand them a telephone, the telephone might teach them about the Ouija board. It might teach them about evil because those individuals are active on the telephone. And a lot of parents, the telephone or the TV or the gadgets is the third parent in the house. The most powerful parent. The mother busy. The father busier. And the third parent is always available. Even in the night. When you have discussion with little children, they're spending 4 to 6 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day on the telephone. 4 to 6 hours a day. That you're talking about between 28 and 40 hours a week on the phone. They become master of the phone. If you listen to them, they have a new language. The language you're using is not what they're using. Sometimes the parents learning the language from the child. The phone teaching the child. They're always watching shows where disguising their face, they wearing masks, teaching them to get into the sexual arena. A child that's spending 40, 50 hours on the phone a week, getting involved in pornography. I don't know if there isn't a good word. All kind of sexual programs of high velocity. And then you have jabdoke. And Deacon say, take jab in your mother cocoa pad. Some of these cocoa pad go full up with oil oil. And if your child is young, they are teenagers. And I didn't say you dress them without clothes. They forget some of the clothes home. And they have a lot of oil oil. So some of the oil oil go full up this young cocoa pad. So women of Grenada, we have to call on you. You might ask, why are this man always calling on women? Well, 60% of the household are led by women. By the time your child is 15 years, they would have spent more time with the mother than the father. Between 0 to 15 years, a child will spend more time with the female parent, generally. The majority of our teachers are women. So obviously, the influence of the woman is greater on the child. So we have to go back to the Bible, the Christian religion. Today, the Catholics are celebrating the feast of the memorial of Saint Mary of Magdala. She is the first one that realized God was risen. Christ was risen. And she go and tell others. You know? So you have to prepare. We must do something. We can't say, we can't give up. It's going to take a long time, but we have to do better. We particularly in light of the fact that we see the upsurge in activities by the communists and the Marxist-Leninists, and they call themselves the progressive. Morality is not important among this group. It's like the laws of the jungle with them. So you who claim you are Christians, you can't prepare to cow down. Don't let them dilute you. And one of the most powerful weapons you have is to pray with your children. Pray with your children. You get up in the morning, pray before the child go to school. Say a word of prayer for the child. Bless the child. Touch the child's head. Women, if you have much sense, you go pray with your man too. If you could sit down and hold pray with your man, there is a big achievement. Most women, even though they're active in the church, by the time they meet a man, they drop out. By the time they meet the boy, you think they could control the boy? You can't control the boy. So you have to, if you could pray with your man, if you could sit down and tell your man, let's spend 10 minutes in prayer, and then I'm going to spend an hour with you, then that is a big, big achievement. So we're calling on our people, our country, we think is a little too hard, too cold, too unconscionable, too harsh. We must be a softer country, and we want to encourage the Christians. Take up your armor. They say the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. So take up your armor and start with your children and pray with your children, pray for them, bless them. And those of you who are of the inking, make the sign of the cross. We're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1 when we have another option to punch.
Sociotopic. Turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency.